Hello everyone, welcome to Nilanjana's exclusive English lessons. Imagine you are in your room and you're probably trying to catch some sleep or read a book or just be at your leisure. And all of a sudden you hear a loud noise, a screeching noise that comes from your neighbor's house, and you get to hear his atrocious music. How do you feel? Well, today's poem is based on a very similar situation, and the man behind such antics is named as Bhishma Lochan Sharma. So let's begin the poem, and I hope all of you know that we are going to do the poem The Power of Music, written by Shukumar Roy. When summer comes, we hear the hums Bhishma Lochan Sharma. So during the months of summer, his songs are heard. Hums refers to his songs, but I would rather not call them songs because when you sing songs, they are melodious, right? They are nice to the ears. But when somebody yells and screams, they cannot be called songs in any way. You catch his train on hill and plain from Delhi down to Burma. So you can listen to this loud noise on hill as well as on plain. So his songs travel from hills down to the plains. So you can understand the intensity of this noise because it covers the entire area, right from the hill down to the plains. So imagine the distance his voice travels from Delhi down to Burma. So these are the two locations the poet has mentioned, that from Delhi it can even be heard down to Burma. Now, this is a Bengali poem which has been translated, and this is actually written by a very famous poet, Shukumar Roy. And Shukumar Roy was very famous, and still today he is famous because he has written many books for children and they are very popular. Now, most of the works that he has written are funny and amusing, but at the same time, when he wrote such prose or poems, it is to highlight even the flaws of the society. So you can call them even satire. Now, this poem is a very amusing poem. It's a very funny poem, and you would rather laugh at whatever this man does, Bhishma Lochan Sharma. And at the end, obviously, he gets a lesson. He learns a lesson, and like people are really relieved from the torture that he was actually serving them. So let's get back to the poem. He sings as though he has staked his life. He has as if risked his life. And he sings as though he is hell bent. Hell bent is determined. Nobody can stop him from singing. However, one tries, pleads, requests, he is hell bent. He is determined to continue with his singing, which is a torture, a cause of suffering for others because they can't bear this horrible noise that comes out. The people dazed retire amazed, although they know it's well meant. Now, the people around him, they are dazed, they are in a state of shock, they are awestruck, and they don't know what's happening. They retire amazed, means they just try to get away from wherever he is around, they want to escape. And although they know, however, they know that it is well meant. Maybe this man has good intentions, he's harmless, but at the same time, even though it is well meant, means he has good intentions of probably singing and he's too fond of it, but he also has to keep in mind that whether his songs are nice or soothing to the ears of the people around him or not, and that is where he fails to understand. So the people understand that his songs are harmless, they are inoffensive. And yes, by the word harmless, I also remember that I have also completed the video on haunted houses. The link you will find in the description box. So if you haven't listened to the video, remember to go and watch the video after this poem. Yeah, don't go now. After you listen to this poem, then you can go and watch it. They are trampled in the panic rout or languish pale and sickly. Now they are trampled in the panic. They are trampled in the panic rout refers to that when they are in a state of anxiety, they are pushed around here and there. Now everybody wants to run away. They are in a state of panic. Right. So when they are in a state of panic, they get pushed around. People fall on each other. They are, it is almost, you can imagine a scenario of stampede where people are getting trampled everywhere because everybody wants to run away, or they are weak and sick and they are not feeling well. Why? Because of his songs. The intensity of his voice is so loud in the ears that they are feeling sick and unwell. So, languish, pale, and sickly means they are feeling weak, they are pale, and they are not feeling well. And plead, they request, plead is request. My friend, we are near our end. Oh, stop your singing quickly. So, my dear friend, we are near our end. We are going to die. If you continue torturing us like this, we are going to die. So, stop your singing immediately. But, who is going to make this man understand? The bullock carts are overturned and horses line the roadside. Now, the bullock carts, so his songs are not just affecting human beings, even animals and objects around him, even they are suffering. How? The bullock carts are overturned. They are, they are turned upside down because they can't keep the balance. And the horses line the roadside. Now, the horses neigh in panic. They are also not able to keep their balance, and they are neighing means they're shouting loudly in panic. So you can say that they are also very annoyed with whatever he is doing. But Bhishma Lochan, unconcerned, goes booming out his broadside. But Bhishma Lochan is unconcerned, means nobody is able to make him understand. He is just turning a deaf ear to whatever is going around him. So look at the level of his confidence, probably overconfidence, I would call it, because he's unconcerned. He continues his singing, and I would again not call it a song. It's not at all singing. It's shouting and yelling, screaming at the top of the voice that can be heard from Delhi down to Burma. The wretched brutes resent the blare. Wretched brutes refers to the animals, the poor, poor animals. We need to have pity on them because even they are not able to keep their balance. They are annoyed, they are shouting because they are very unhappy. So they resent the blare. They show their annoyance. How? Because they are very angry with this loud noise. The moment they hear it sounded. So the moment they hear this loud noise, they also resent. They also show their annoyance. How? By complaining. They whine and stare with feet in air or wonder quite confounded. So they start complaining. Whine means they're complaining because they are dissatisfied, and they stare with feet in air. Feet is supposed to be on the ground, not in the air. The moment you see their feet in air means they are in a state of unrest. I'm sure you must have seen when animals get angry, their feet can be seen in the air, means they are in a state of movement and they try to jump and show their anger and annoyance. So that is what they do. Or they are wondering, they are shocked and they start wondering that what is happening. So they're very confused with this chaotic scenario everywhere. You can call it a musical mayhem. The fishes dived below the lake in frantic search for silence. So not even the animals, even the fishes, those who which stay inside the depths of the water, even they try to dive further below. Why? Because they are looking for some peace. कहाँ हम लोगों को थोड़ा peace मिलेगा? So for that, they are diving deep the depths of the lake because they are trying to find some peace. Frantically, nervously, they are searching. Please save us from this man's, songs. And that's the reason they're trying to hide away, get away from this scenario by diving deep. The very trees collapse and shake. You hear the crash a mile hence. So not even the fish or not even the animals, the horses or the bullock carts, but even the trees, they start collapsing down, crumbling down to pieces. Why? Because the way this man shouts, even nature is annoyed. Even animals, birds, everything is annoyed, and even the trees start collapsing. And the way the trees collapse, you can hear that loud noise from a mile. So, from a long distance, you can hear that what is happening to the trees. And in the sky, the feathered fly turn turtle while they are winging. So, he does not even leave the birds in the sky, even they come under his torture. So, the birds, while flying, they flip upside down. Turn turtle means they flip over while they are flying. Even they are not able to keep the balance, and they are shocked and in wonder about this chaos, that what's happening. Again we cry, again and again. This man has been, going through this request, and everybody is requesting him, pleading him, we are going to die. Oh, won't you stop your singing? So we are about to die. हम लोग मरने वाले हैं यार, अभी तो बंद कर दो. Won't you stop your singing? Won't you stop your songs? But Bhishma soared beyond our reach. However, we plead and grumble. But who is going to make him listen? His, his voice soared means it kept on rising beyond our reach. Beyond our limits, it kept on rising and rising. How much we plead, how much we request, and how much we grumble, how much we complain and show our disapproval. But he continues doing that. The welkin weeps to hear his screech, and mighty mansions stumble. So many instances we see in the poem that shows that this man's songs are not at all welcomed by anybody. Rather, everything gets destroyed. So his songs can be called a source of destruction. The welkin is the sky, so even the sky starts weeping. To hear his screech, so it's a screeching noise, not at all a melodious voice. And mighty, huge mansions, huge houses, buildings, even they tumble. Mighty means huge, very big, immense. And mansions are houses. They tumble means they fall apart. They come crashing down. But now there comes a billy goat, a most sagacious fellow. But there has to be an end, right? So here comes the end of Bhishma Lochan and his songs. And who teaches him a lesson? A billy goat. A billy goat is a male goat. So this male goat is a very sagacious fellow. He's a wise, understanding fellow. Why? Because he wants to give everybody some peace. So he thinks that, okay, let me only teach this man a lesson. And how does he teach? He downs his horns and charges straight with bellow answering bellow. So bellow answering bellow means tit for tat. Whatever he was doing for that, he just charged forward with his horns and attacked this man with his horns. Charges straight means he just rushes forward and attacks this man with his horns. The strains of song are tossed and whirled by blast of brutal violence. So now the strains of song, the tunes of his song are just tossed and whirled. Tossed means they are like thrown apart. Everywhere they're thrown apart means because he falls down, he is attacked, and therefore his songs are also thrown, the tunes of his song are thrown all over, and it whirls. Whirls means it just keeps moving everywhere by blast of brutal violence. So brutal violence is the attack. Brutally this man was attacked, and probably he deserved it, because how much people tried to make him understand, he refuses to listen. So this is the way his song comes to an end. He is brutally, violently attacked. Brutally means, very violently, in a cruel manner. Of course, he is attacked. Otherwise, he would not have stopped. And Bhishma Lochan grants the world the golden gift of silence. And finally, he gives the world. The world was in a state of mayhem and chaos. Finally, the peace of the world is restored. How? By Bhishma Lochan putting an end to his song. So he gives the world the golden. Golden means what? Valuable. As valuable as gold, precious gift of silence. So he's silent for his life now. Probably nobody can even hear him speaking. Songs to band ho gaya. Abhi probably he will not even open his mouth. And this is how the billy goat teaches Bhishma a lesson. Now this poem is very humorous, and I think if you can imagine the situation, Bhishma singing on the top of his voice with a screeching and horrible tune, we can understand that how pathetic it could be for the people around him. So such poems come, and this poem is actually written by Sukumar Roy, as I already told you, and it comes under the category of absurd literature. Like obviously you will not find anybody who's singing like this, right? Neither you will see a billy goat teaching this man a lesson. And how can a billy goat be a sagacious fellow? So don't try to reason with such poems. Such poems comes under the genre of nonsensical verse. Nonsensical means they don't make any logical sense, but they are pure sources of amusement, and they are mainly written for children so that they can have a laugh about it. So sometimes, always we don't read those serious in-depth poems. We also need to read this light-hearted poems so that we can have a laugh about it, like quite close to limericks. I'm sure all of you know what are limericks. If not, I can share it. I can do a video on that. So let me know in the comments if you are interested to know further about limericks. And yes, so this is absurd literature, and you can also call it gibberish. Like gibberish means something that is not making much sense, but still it's very, very funny. And Srikumar Roy is also the father of the famous, world famous filmmaker Satyajit Roy. So yeah, you should also know a little bit about the poet. For that, you can refer to the introduction in your book. And I think that's all about the poem. There's nothing much to discuss. And if you like the explanation, please do, share your views in the comments and give me a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And yeah, that's all for today. Have a beautiful, beautiful day ahead.